we go. So welcome everybody. This is Andrew David, the High Performance Call. Now, here's what I want you to plan on today. Some of you are going to probably get offended. Somebody's going to get upset at some point today. And if I do my job right, every single one of you may get there may be a little bit of, where you point the finger back at yourself and you go, yep, that's something I got to work on. That's something I got to change. I've got to get better at. Hopefully you're willing to do that. And I know some of you are. I know some of you consistently work on bettering yourselves. And so congratulations to you. Yep, absolutely. Holding up the mirror. These are things that I have dealt with time and again. So we're going to talk about winners and losers. This is one of the things I want to talk about. I want to talk about winners and losers and how to become a winner. See, too many of us go through life and we have looked at what's going on and we have created this script, that is just, it's broken. And we're losing consistently. And we can't see anything but losing, right?
Andrew, it's not script then anymore. It's a broken record.
Yeah. And just over and over and over. And at some point you got to go, look, I'm going to decide I got to change the script. I got to write something different, right? It's got to be something different if you want something different. Yeah. Losers are negative excuses. They give up. Look, winners win and losers lose, and that's just the reality. So if you've spent too much time on one side and you want to get on the other, then let's talk about this. And I'm not talking about because I've always been a winner. I haven't in so many different things, right? And I've had those times where I've questioned, am I going to be capable of? Can I overcome? Is this something that I'm going to make work? But at some point, you're the only one that can make that decision. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of winning. I'm going to share some fantastic quotes from some amazing individuals. We're going to look at those and we're going to talk about winning in those regards. So here we go. Let's dive in. Now, to begin with, this came about because I've been getting some of these questions, but it comes out with a negative tone, right? What's the average? Hey, give me a guarantee. I got to do this now so I can cancel. Like, people are stepping in, and if I don't get a guarantee, then I'm going to cancel. If you can't give me a guarantee, then I'm not going to act. Why aren't I seeing more wins? Well, it's because you're too busy looking for negativity. You're too busy looking for people that are willing to bitch and moan and complain. And then that starts to breed, right? There's that saying, if you want to fly like the eagles, you got to quit hanging out with a bunch of turkeys. Like, look for success and you can find it. Too many of you are only taking action if you get a guarantee. Well, the question is, when was the last damn time you guaranteed yourself? When was the last time you held yourself accountable? Where instead of, running back to the mall with a receipt and saying, hey, look at my receipt. This is what was supposed to happen. This is what my product was supposed to do. Instead of doing that, just in general in life, guys, doesn't necessarily have to be with this. When's the last time, instead of running back and saying, hey, I want my money back, you looked in the mirror and said, Andrew, damn it, I want my money back. You didn't deliver. Why didn't you do what you needed to do? You guys still able to hear me, right?
Yeah.
Audio's good? Okay. Yes, snowflakes, not glaciers. Well, we need to be glaciers. We need to be icebergs, right? You've got to have that little bit above ground, and then you've got to be willing to fight down below. So instead of looking at this and saying, why can't I find more? Because the winners are out winning. Right? That's just the reality. And that's what you need to look for. So instead of saying those things, you need to say, so what's possible? And where can I get the best strategies? Because I'm going to seek them out and I'm going to learn them. And then what's my return on investment? If I'm going to invest, what's my return? Not what's my guarantee. What's my possible return? Because I understand that I've got to put in the work. Now we're going to get into a handful of quotes. So first, from a couple of American presidents. Number one, Abraham Lincoln. Most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Winners are typically, there is a higher level of happiness because they're not focused on losing. They're not focused on frustration. They're not focused on being a victim. They're looking at being happy. Thomas Jefferson, nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. I can provide training over and over and over and over again. See, we've got members here, and I've seen it elsewhere, where I can take somebody that just has a crappy mental attitude, that's just constantly losing, that's complaining. And I could spend an hour a day teaching them how to market and how to brand themselves and what they need to do. Hell, I could do half of the work for them. And I promise you the result, if they don't change their mental attitude, will be a failure. And they'll quit. I can take someone with a positive attitude, and instead of spending an hour a day, I spend an hour a week. And I give them guidelines and I give them something to go do. And I say, here, if you would follow this and then fill in the blanks, you'll achieve. And they go, great. And they get out and they run with it. If you've got the goal and you believe that you can, then you'll get there. And that's something you've got to understand. This is one of my favorite quotes. I remember hearing it as a kid in a movie. Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do the right thing once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. So that's Vince Lombardi. Those of you guys not in the States, not familiar with him, Vince Lombardi was a football coach, American football coach, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s for the Green Bay Packers. For a long time, he was the winningest coach in NFL history. The current Super Bowl trophy that they give out to the Super Bowl winning team every single year is named after him. It's the Lombardi Trophy. It was a man that was synonymous with winning. But that's the reality, guys. Winning is a habit, unfortunately, is losing. And some of us haven't developed enough of the habit of winning to make our lives better. And you are going to be the only one that is going to wake up to this. Because if you've been living in a state where for a long time losing or finding difficulty and looking at frustration and drama and all of the other nonsense that so many of us deal with all the time, if that's been your norm, then there's a very good chance that those around you are experiencing the exact same thing. And they're not going to tell you, hey, Andrew, you're not focused enough on winning. You're focused too much on losing. There's too much frustration and drama and excuses in your life. They're going to keep right on doing the same thing. And as soon as you start to change and you want to create a different pathway for yourself, there is going to be pushback from them. And they're not going to be happy with it, which is going to make it even more difficult for you and even easier to slide back into the same routine that you've had. And so the fight becomes essential. Are you going to put up the fight? And are you going to work for it? Okay, a couple more. One thing winners have is courage. Oh, I skipped this one. This is one of the things I love about winning. This is one of I ran track in high school, obviously not well enough to run in college. I am, just in this case, incredibly Caucasian. I'm not fast enough to do anything like that. But I love this picture. Usain Bolt was an amazing individual, broke so many records in a way that no one imagined humanity would be able to do in the way that he did it. Right? As fast as he did, lowering those numbers as much as he did, and testing clean throughout his career while so many others around him were not. Right? Pretty fantastic. I love this picture because he's just out in front and he's having fun. And that's one thing winners do is they tend to have a little bit more fun because I'll tell you something. It's a hell of a lot more fun to win. It's a hell of a lot more fun to get sales, to put out content consistently that over time start to generate results. It's a hell of a lot better to put on pants that fit versus sitting here in my own sloth and mess because I've been eating too much, because I've been making excuses, because I've been willing to just kind of float by. It's good to smile once in a while. And that's what winners do. Usain's looking around at these other guys and he's like, look at me. I'm just having fun. How much further, you know how much that messes with the mechanics of you running when you turn like that? It slows you the hell down. And he's still breaking records doing it. So there are no good excuses. You're absolutely right. Let me see. I had some chats up here that I kind of closed. So next, courage from JFK and Martin Luther King. To be courageous requires no exceptional qualifications, no magic formula, no special combination of time, place, and circumstances. Martin Luther King saw courage as an inner force, an inner resolution to go forward in spite of obstacles and frightening situations. Ladies and gentlemen, winners are courageous. Losers consistently look for a reason not to be courageous. They don't want to move forward. They don't want to push themselves forward because it's scary. And if it's scary, then I might fail. And if I might fail, I've already got a built-in excuse. I don't have to do it. So I'm okay where I'm at. Whereas winners are willing to act courageously, consistently, because they know that courage can create results. And I love JFK's part of the quotes where he says, look, it doesn't require anything special. There are no genetic traits to courage. You don't have to be a certain height. You don't have to be a certain weight. You don't have to look a certain way. Your skin color doesn't matter. Your religious background doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you are willing in that time and that place to take action in that circumstance. Because as Martin Luther says, it's an inner resolution to go forward in spite of obstacles in frightening situations, not basic situations, frightening ones that should scare you. And I know some of you guys are scared about doing this. Some of you guys are scared about putting up content. Some of you guys are scared about finishing up your funnel, whether it's doing it yourself. Some of you guys are scared about investing more and taking a bigger step. Courage comes to all of us if we're willing to act, but it doesn't come before you act. Oftentimes the courage comes after you've taken those first couple of steps. Tom Watson, and a golfer, I can't remember if he's US or UK born, but I like Tiger Woods better. So that's why that picture is there. The more times you put yourself in pressure situations, the more times you compete, the better off you are. It's a learning experience that is worth a fortune. Winners enjoy competing. They want to compete. I want you to put me up against other people. I want to compete against them. I don't want to go up against others to, try and be like them or be as good as. I want to be better. But my biggest competition forever, like the true winners, the ones that are really out there to win, their biggest competition will forever be themselves. My biggest competition is the man in the mirror. My biggest competition is the guy that I was a month ago or last week. Am I doing more today? Am I consistently breaking my own barriers? Am I overcoming the little things that I'm scared of all the time? And if I am, awesome. And if I'm not, that's where the struggle is. If you're willing to compete with yourself all of the time, put yourself in a pressure situation happily, on purpose. Some people run screaming from pressure. Some of you guys, just a handful of questions. Oh my gosh, it's too much, right? Oh, what am I going to do? Absorb it. Run with it. Stress changes when you put yourself in that position over and over and over again. To succeed takes time and prolonged effort in the face of unfriendly odds. To think it will be any other way, no matter what you do, is to invite yourself to be hurt and to limit your enthusiasm for trying again. Understand, long-term success means there will be trials. Long-term success means that there will be frustrations. Long-term success means that I'm going to struggle from time to time. I'm going to be a little overwhelmed. I'm going to be unsure. It doesn't mean I can't overcome and that I won't succeed and I won't win. Because damn it, I will. I'm going to find a way. I will. Building yourself something that creates more for you means there's the whole process of creation inevitably entails a little bit of destruction. But you're that architect. So you decide what gets broken down and whether or not it stops you. Failure isn't a mistake necessarily. It may simply be that, at that particular moment, it was the best that you can do. The real mistake is to stop trying. Thomas Edison, 1,000 ways that the light bulb didn't work. When he went and he was going to create the record, he tried over and over and over again. He tried wax, tried beeswax, he tried other kinds of wax, he tried wax combined with other things. He tried soaps. They tried all of these different chemical combinations. He had teams scouring the earth in Asia and Europe and Africa all over, looking for different elements that they could use, trying over and over and over again until they found something that worked. You've got to be willing to do that and go through that process, especially marketing. Marketing means I'm going to put some stuff out that just really isn't going to hit. Winning. Yeah. And so feedback, failure as feedback is an important thing. Winners accept feedback. Losers don't want it. They get defensive. I know we've had a couple people that joined the call that have already bounced. It's like, I don't want to listen to this crap. I don't need this. I don't think the mentality side's that important. You want to know why the mentality side's important is because every single skill that you guys learn, every single thing that you can do here can be outsourced. And in outsourcing it, and I'm not saying you have to, you can learn to do every single thing. I bring this up because if I can outsource it and pay someone less and make a profit on it, who is benefiting the most? Right? Think about it. Winners are going to find a way. And if I can't physically do it myself, or I don't have the time, I don't have the skill, whatever, I'm going to figure out a different way to do it. I'm going to find someone else that's able to support me in that journey. I'm going to leverage their efforts. I'm going to leverage their skill. I'm going to leverage their expertise. Winners are going to win and losers are going to lose. And at some point you're going to wake up and you're going to decide to stop being a victim and you're going to decide that you're willing to act. But one of the most important things, if you guys come away with nothing else, is you've got to know what you want and then be willing to fight for it. You've got to know what you want in your day to day. You've got to know what you want in your relationship. You have to know what you want physically, how you want to feel, how you want your health to be. You got to know how much money you want to make. You want to know how you want to spend your days. You got to know if it's walking away from a job or if it's supporting a family member or if it's doing something else. Guys, you've got to know that. And then you've got to decide that every single day of the rest of my life, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do something to get me closer to that goal. Because then when the obstacles come, when the frustration is there, hey, no big deal. Because the more you win, it creates momentum in ways that are hard to describe. I'm going to share a couple of benefits of winning here. Now, these have had to come. I've had to learn a lot of this, guys, the hard way because I've spent plenty of time losing. I did that, right? I spent plenty of time doubting myself. I spent plenty of time letting other people doubt me and let it sink so far into my psyche that I had to struggle to overcome it myself because I started to believe their BS in their life that they then portrayed onto me. And yes, I've made poor decisions that put me even further back. And I made those decisions a lot of times because, whether it's depression or dealing with other obstacles, whatever's going on, and you get to this point where you go, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to overcome, and I'm already here and I'm struggling here, I'm struggling there. So I don't deserve to win. Man, that's a rough climb to get out of. You have to get up and fight for yourself. If you're not willing to fight for anything else or anybody else, fight for yourself, damn it. Be willing to put in that time and effort for yourself. Here's some advantages. Winning puts you in a good mood. If you got people that are pissed off all the time, odds are they're not winning at anything. It puts you in a good mood. Positive hormones, those endorphins, right? The dopamine. When I got sales coming, when my phone is dinging and I've got sales coming in, that's a dopamine rush every single time. I'm in a good mood. An attractive situation. Winning puts you in a better position all the time. At work, at home, people want to be around you. You want to be around others. It's a good thing to have. Next, learning. This goes to the feedback. I think as Patricia commented on feedback a little bit ago. For some reason, my chat's not popping up. Come on. All right. Learning and feedback. Winners want to learn. Winners are always going to learn. They're going to spend extra time learning. They want that feedback. I want you to tell me what I didn't do correctly so I can adjust and win more next time. I don't adjust so that I'm not losing. I don't do what I do in order to not lose. There's a big difference. I do what I do so that I can win and so I can succeed. I'm not doing it in order to, not have damages. I do it so that there's a positive result. Losers start to hear feedback and they get defensive and they put blame elsewhere. Well, it wasn't me. It was my time. It was work. It was my spouse. It was this thing that happened to me 3 years ago. Right? Well, it would, but Facebook did this. The gym changed this rule. whatever. Quit placing the blame elsewhere. Freedom to focus. If I'm winning, I'm less stressed. And so I'm able to focus on what will help me continue to win. Part of this is that people that lose more often, that put themselves into that victim mentality, also create more situations mentally than they need to that lead to higher frustration, right? They're constantly contemplating what's going to mess them up and how they're going to fail and what they're going to do that's wrong. And they miss out on the positivity that comes from winning. Positive culture of respect. Getting around other winners. This is your power team. People that are crushing, people that are doing well, people that are pushing themselves in life. Get around them because they're going to lift you up and they're going to respect you, not just for the wins on the board that you put up. They're going to respect you for the effort that you are constantly putting in because they see you overcoming. They're not going to dog you when something doesn't work. If you've got someone around you that says, look, I told you that wasn't going to work. See what happened? Oh, this month you only did that. Oh, you didn't lose weight. Oh, you put on a couple of pounds over the weekend. See, you slept in. I know you weren't going to last. That's a loser and a victim mentality. And if you've got that around you, you need to switch things up. You need to find people that lift you and look at your efforts. And if you stumble, they say, hey, great job there, Ray, pushing yourself ahead. I know you had this little trip. I think this is what happened, man. If you make this adjustment next month, next year, whatever, all of this stuff, that's what you got to look at. Okay, next, the solid support system kind of goes together with that positive culture of respect, self-determination. They're determined no matter what. I am going to see this through. You're able to contain your stress because you're not freaking out. It's easier when you're constantly stacking wins to not be as stressed. The continuity means I'm consistently doing it all the time. And opportunities. Guys, opportunities arise when you get stuff done. If you push yourself, get stuff done. Opportunities and doors will open because you put yourself in a position to win. One of my best mentors, I've mentioned him before, a guy with big beard and hat, and he's retired multiple times in his 30s and now 40s, and he comes back and he works for a while, makes a bunch of money, then takes off again, right? I met him because I went to an event, and while at the event, I volunteered to help in a way that had nothing to do with me. I wasn't working for the individuals that were putting on the event. I said, yeah, they needed some help with people that were brand new to what was going on. I decided to answer some questions and see him, help people through things. I got introduced to this guy. That turned into an opportunity to be mentored and work with him, right? Put yourself in positions to win. Opportunities and doors will open. I've shared the moment when I was kind of introduced to speaking at a big event where I got a chance to MC and host the whole weekend. And it was simply because I was there doing a little bit more than I would have done normally. And so the opportunity opened up, right? Guys, opportunities open when you win. Opportunities will close because you will close them if you're constantly looking to play that victim card and to lose. There's a little thing in psychology called the confirmation bias. The more you think about winning, the more you're going to see winning. The more you think about winning, the more you will see others around you and you'll be winning. On the other hand, the more you look at loss, the more you want to play the victim, the more you want to look at the bullshit that you deal with in life. I promise, look, nurture that garden and you'll get a garden full of those weeds and briars and everything else and those thorns. If that's what you want, then roll with it. Walk into every conversation, walk out going, oh, they were thinking this. They were upset about that. Come on. Take control of yourself. Start learning what winners do. Start doing more of it. Start building up who you are as a winner. I'll take some questions and comments here in just a second, Paul. I'm about to wrap up. Do what you need to do to develop that mentality and become a winner. To quit playing the victim and take control of your life and become the best version of you possible. And if you do that, doesn't matter what the hell fires are burning all around you. You will rise up. You will fly like the phoenixes that you are. You're going to kick some butt. I love you guys. Go out. Hopefully there's a little bit of man in the mirror that happened here. Hopefully you see something. You point back at yourself and say, all right, it's time to search, time to change, time to become better. On that note, guys, if you'd like to bounce, feel free.